Good morning, students. In very short video, I am going to tell you, okay, if examiner is asking you how you will differentiate to which region of the vertebral column these vertebrae they belong. That means how to identify whether it is the cervical, thoracic or that of the lumbar vertebrae is there from the pool. Okay, in the examination table, this kind of the vertebrae will be there and he may ask you like this. So, very important clue to identify the vertebrae of cervical region, thoracic or lumbar region is there is that cervical you can identify with the help of the presence of the vertebrae. For example, just if I keep it here, the cervical vertebrae, there should be the foramina transversarium. There are 7 cervical, C1 to C7, and then all have this foramina. Just look for a foramina on the side of the body which is rectangular in shape. If you get a foramina in any the vertebra here, see this vertebra in the 2C2 vertebra, there is a foramina. You have to tilt it here. Then this is the C7. Again you will have the foramina. So if foramina is there, whether it is typical or atypical vertebrae, foraminas are always there in the transverse process. So these are the cervical vertebrae. Then for the thoracic vertebrae, you will have to identify a typical thoracic vertebrae except the T11 and T12. All thoracic vertebrae will have an articular facet on the transverse process, on the ventral aspect of the trunk. This is for the tubercle of a rib. So this costal articular facet on the transverse process will identify the thoracic vertebra from T1 to the T10. And then you can see for all other vertebrae, there may be the facet for the head of the rib on the side of the body, near the upper margin as well as near the lower margin. See this is lower articular facet and this is upper. This will be seen in a typical thoracic, but even a single facet at the junction of body and pedicle will be seen even 11th and 12th. That means all the thoracic vertebrae T1 to T12, they will see either one or two articular facet onto the side of the body at its junction with that of the pedicle. This is very important clue to identify the thoracic vertebrae. So just if you get a facet, it is nothing but that of the thoracic. For that of the lumbar, what you will have to see that the body is very large. That means at such the whole vertebra is very large with the long transverse flat transverse process. And you can see, first concentrate on body, and body is the kidney shaft, very large body with kidney shaft, a small foramina transversarium, not foramina transverse, I'm sorry, a small transverse so this vertebral foramina, okay, because the pedicle are directly directed backwards. Okay, so a small either a triangular small or a rounded small foramina, vertebral foramina is seen just behind that of the vertebral body. The third clue is there here in the lumbar is that its articular facets, they are concave. No other vertebra that is from cervical or lumbar thoracic region will show the concavity in its superior articular facet, superior articular process, which are directed backwards and medially. Okay, they are directed backwards and medially. So concave articular facet are the clue to identify and large kidney set body is this will be help you to identify this vertebra, that is the lumbar vertebra will be identified. Then he may further ask you that how you will differentiate just looking at the body. Then you can say that this is in cervical, it is a rectangular body. Rectangular body means here the width is much more as compared to its enter. So it is rectangular body is there in cervical, almost heart-shaped body will be there in the thoracic, and that kidney-shaped body is there in the lumbar vertebrae. The pedicles, if you see to differentiate, you can see that pedicles are directed backwards and laterally. In thoracic, they are directed backwards, very slightly laterally, but in the lumbar, they are definitely are going backwards only. Okay, they are going backward. Then with the help of the articular facet, here it is in cervical, it is sloping articular facet. Okay, it is there slightly directed posterolaterally. In the thoracic vertebra, they are vertical facets. Okay, they are vertical and they are directed posterolaterally in this direction, not directly backward, but directly they are directed posterolaterally, but they are vertical. So, and in the lumbar, I have told you that they are concave, directing posteromedially, concave or curved facet are there. Then the transverse process can be differentiated. Here the transverse process in a typical cervical vertebrae will show an anterior and posterior tubercle and a foramina. But in case of the thoracic vertebrae, the transverse process are knobby, okay, and then on their ventral aspect they may show a articular facet here, okay, and then they are directed backwards and laterally, okay, this transverse, and they are quite thick, small at their terminal end, but in the thorax, I'm saying the lumbar region, they are flat, thin and flat. Transverse process will be seen in the lumbar region. And in the spine, if you want to say you to differentiate, say him that the spine is bifid. In cervical there are two tubercle on the spine, very small spine, except that in the C7 where it is long, not dividing in bifid, so it is for that of the C7. Spine in case of the thoracic vertebra, they are pointed, okay, in the mid region, and they are directed downwards. They are long, not as short as cervical region. And in case of the lumbar region, the spine is quadrilateral, very strong. Okay, so again it is quadrilateral structure, which is a strong spine is present into that of the lumbar region. Okay, this way you can differentiate the various types of the vertebrae coming from the different regions of the vertebral column. Thank you very much for watching this video on Viva of the vertebrae.